The Isochain and Isometrics makes us stronger. The stronger we are, the heavier weights we can lift. The heavier weights we can lift, the more muscle mass we're going to put on our body. The more muscle mass we put on our body, the more body fat we're going to burn. The more body fat we're going to burn, the more inches we're going to lose. The more inches we lose, the slimmer the figure, the more cut we appear, and everybody wins. Is it really that simple though? Simplified, yes. Are there little caveats here and there that depends on the specific person involved? Yes, there's an exception to every rule, but generally speaking, that is what will happen if all the other elements are in place. So we're going to start with the newbies first, and I'm going to explain how I explain it to both parties. So let's open up with the newbies first. The first thing I explain to newbies is why do we want to do this? So it goes back to what I just said in the beginning of the video. The other elements have to be in place. We could be working out as hard as we want to, but if our eating is trash, we'll see a little bit of decrease in the inches, but it's not going to be much. If the calorie intake is over what it should be, you will continue to gain. In fact, you're probably going to gain more because now you're adding muscle to the bad calorie surplus that's coming in. If everything else is in place, that person is trying to lose weight, they're in a calorie deficit, they're doing the cardio that they need for calorie expenditure, and then they add a 5 to 10 minute overcoming isometric training session with the Isochain on top of their weightlifting or calisthenics, whatever session, they will see results faster because they're getting stronger faster. We talked about bulletproofing on the channel. If you haven't seen that video and you're a new viewer to our channel, click the link right here. You really should check that out because people sleep on isometrics and we don't really know all the benefits, and that's probably one of the biggest benefits to performing isometric training, because trust me, take it from me, and I'm sure if you ask any of the subscribers watching this channel, ask them, comment in the comment section below. Ask them if joint pain sucks after being in the game for so long. And then they have to dance around injuries. It's annoying. We just want to go to freaking winning, all right? We don't want to have to dance around stuff. Bulletproofing, an aspect that we get with the Isochain, where essentially we're strengthening up the connective tissues, the tendons and ligaments, in addition to strengthening up the muscles. That's a hell of a combo. How I ended with the newbies is explaining the entire intro. Let's say they are a weight loss client and they're looking to lose 40 to 50 pounds in 6 months. Doable? Yes. Are they going to have to work hard? Yes. Are they going to have to not BS around? Yes. If there's no Isochain involved, they still have to follow the process. Once that's established and they understand the breakdown, I explain to them then that the equation that I brought out earlier in the video with the stronger muscles equal faster, all that stuff, that might mean the difference between hitting your goals in 6 months versus hitting them in 4.5 to 5 months. Now maybe that's an extreme example, but the rate at which muscle is developed is faster using the Isochain in conjunction with everything else. And at this point, I've seen too much to be convinced otherwise at this point. Veterans, I feel like there's a little bit more sales involved. Maybe not so much. Here's what I mean. I start with planks, wall sits, and 6 inches exercise. Those exercises are, if they're a veteran, they know about those exercises. 9 times out of 10, if they don't, I actually would shock. They might know it at a baseline level, but they might not know all the true benefits of those exercises because they're isometric in nature. They probably just know, okay, this really burns, I know this gets you stronger, and that's it. This is just what is accepted in the exercise world. But that's not good enough. With the veterans, I explain yielding, and then I work that into overcoming. Now each one has their own benefits, and I have a video explaining both of them. They're actually 2 separate ones, so I'm going to show you a link right here, and in about 5 seconds, 3, 2, 1, here's a link right here, and you can check both of those out. If you haven't and you're unfamiliar with what yielding and overcoming isometric training are, you should definitely get familiarized with those types of training because that's almost what the entire channel is about. Once the veteran understanding what yielding isometric training is, they're just like, oh, it's just holds. Okay, great. There's levels to it. How hard are we pushing? Now we're starting to switch into overcoming isometric training. We're starting to transition. That'll lead me into bulletproofing. Same thing with the newbies. So chances are, most people don't really know about that. I'm sure there are some enlightened ones, but chances are they probably didn't know. Worst case scenario, they're like, oh yeah, I knew that, okay? But chances are probably not. One of my biggest selling points for veterans though is this a plateau buster. It is one of the best plateau busters I've ever seen. We've all been there. If we've been in the game for more than 6 months, we've been there where we're like hitting it hard, progressive overload, we're doing everything right, and then we just hit a hard cap where we just can't break through to the next level, and it's freaking annoying. We can't increase weight, we keep burning out at rep 14, we can't even get to 15. Our body is plateaued. We need a different stimulus. We need something to really propel us, but what? Now there are different plateau busters. I've used many different kinds, training clients and myself over the years, but in my opinion, this is almost at the top of the list, is using the Isochain and really focusing on our mind-muscle connection and developing new neural pathways to really go all in and train our bodies to explode and go 100%, because remember, our muscles are binary. They know on or off. If we train our bodies that way and teach them explosive on or off, what do you think is going to happen in the weight room? Now, of course, this is assuming that the form is right. We're not going to go explosive and like bust our back open doing a deadlift. That would be dumb. Assuming the form is correct, once I have them on it to try it, and that veteran potential client are like, okay, I totally get what you're saying. Last point I make are that there are high strength gains in a small amount of time. This could be the difference between taking 3 months to achieve a fitness goal versus taking 9 months, because the gains from performing, overcoming isometric training are that freaking potent. And by the way, if someone is new seeing this channel and you have no idea what I'm talking about, check out my playlist on Isochain and isometric exercise science. Here's a link right here. That is freaking gold. It is straight from Paul Waite's isometric manual. It is a freaking wealth of information. Once I hone in on those different aspects, they're pretty much sold. But here's the thing, it's not about selling. It's straight up cold hard facts. These are based off of scientific studies, peer-based reviews over the course of decades. And here's the caveat, with backed up results from different groups of people from all walks of life. But what are your thoughts? What have you experienced explaining the Isochain and isometrics to your friends, family? I'd love to know your experiences. Comment down below. And worst case scenario, just show them this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next video. Peace.